Hi, I'm Laura Rae, and I'm here with my top makeup from Popular Drugstore Brands. So many of you have requested this video. You've asked me to give you my top 3 or my top products. So I'm here to do that. We're going to start off with a brand I've bought so much from over the many years I've used it, and that's Milani. And they have come out with some amazing products recently. I am really crazy about their new primer. This is called the Conceal and Perfect. When I first saw it, I didn't have much hope for it. I thought it would be like goopy on my skin. I still have an oily T-zone, so I was concerned about that, but this is amazing. It blends right into the skin. When you first put it on, you think it's going to be pilly, but then once the warmth of your finger hits it, it just melts and feels like silk. It works great for the pores under my eyes, for my fine lines and wrinkles. It has a little scooper right in the front, so you don't have to dip your fingers into it. You can use that. But it's really fantastic. I was surprised that Milani has come out with so many great things I'm seeing now at the end of the year. Another winner were these Cheek Kiss blushes that are luminous. They've always had the more matte blushes, the Cheek Kiss, and I've loved those and used those. These are more Charlotte-esque. So I put on Luminoso today. It is a little light for me, but it's beautiful for a nice soft look. I'm a big fan of this one, the Pink Cava. It's number 120, and it's just beautiful and shows up better on my skin. So I would pick this as the best for my skin tone, but the Luminoso is beautiful too. Now, a third product that sort of was a revisit for me because I bought the Fruit Fetish lip oils when they came out, but I just wasn't like over the moon about them. But now I've really gotten to be a huge fan. I love them over a lip pencil. Now, this one I have here is Honey Fig, and it's such a beautiful shade for going over nudes. Look at how nice that looks. If you're not a fan of thicker lip gloss, like, say, maybe the Maybelline Lifter gloss, which I love. I've done a lot of videos on these. But if you don't like them, if they're too heavy, too thick, then I think the Milani lip oils are amazing. Let's talk about E.l.f. E.l.f. came out with such a great foundation this year. For the first time for me, I have never liked, except the one in the glass bottle. That was pretty good, but most of their complexion products have never worked for me. I've never found a shade that works. But I was so happy about this Soft Glam foundation. It looked great on my skin. It's one of my top foundations now that I reach for when I'm putting on makeup. This is a medium buildable coverage. For me, it looks more full coverage because I'm so used to some days just wearing a tinted moisturizer or sunscreen. So when I put this on, I feel like, wow, I'm wearing full coverage. But when I saw myself in the video I did about my top foundation, I went, wow. When I saw it on camera and not just looking in the mirror, I thought that really looks great on my skin. It makes my skin, I'm 60 now, look really the best that it's going to look. So it's a favorite. You've heard me go on and on about the E.l.f. tubing mascara. This is the lash extender. I bought multiple tubes. My daughter loves it too. I just like that I can count on it for not smudging under the eyes. Because it's a tubing mascara, it will stay on till I wash it off. It's pretty easy to get off, so I'm a fan of this. And not many people talk about this, but I think the E.l.f. Jelly Pop Glow Stick is amazing for mature women. I love it as a highlighter. It looks so much like my Tula stick that I love. Of course, that's got skincare ingredients in it, so it's a different product. But it gives me that same little light shining on the face without seeing powder, without it looking like I'm wearing a highlighter. It just gives like a soft light under your eyes. So this is definitely a favorite of mine. Let's talk about Covergirl. There are some amazing products from Covergirl. I think they're one of the brands that most women don't buy from. Anytime I've done a Covergirl video, nobody watches it. Just the views are so poor. So I get this feeling that people aren't going towards Covergirl, but they have some fabulous finds in there. And one is this bronzer. You rarely see at the drugstore a powder, loose powder bronzer. We see lots of bronzers that are powder, but not loose. This is amazing. It's their clean, fresh bronzer. What I do is just tap some in the cap and blend it out. But it blends so easily. It gives me a very soft warmth. So it's a product that I was really surprised by how much I enjoyed it, because I'm not even a fan of powder that much. You all have heard me comment on that I don't like face powder that much, but this is really fantastic. Now, 2 lip products I'll never be without from Covergirl. This is Bliss You Berry. This is their balm. This is the one that when it first came out, I said, I know that's going to be a dupe for Clinique Black Honey. And it's the closest I've ever found. Look at what a beautiful shade it is. It is amazing. I've bought so many of these since it came out. They just look beautiful on the lips. And then this is a find. It's the Covergirl, it's the top coat that goes on top of their long-lasting lipsticks. Well, you can buy this separately for about $4, and the shine is just amazing. I take it right now, I've got a lot of shine on my lips, but I take it and put it on top of lipstick all the time to make it just look beautiful and shiny. It feels so comfortable on the lips. It also looks great over lip pencil. It's just amazing. I'll never be without this. Wet n Wild. I've sort of gotten away from Wet n Wild. I don't use as many Wet n Wild products as I used to. I have just found so many others that I like a little bit better, but I still love Wet n Wild. I did a video not too long ago with my favorites from them. But if I had to pick my top 3, one would be this primer stick. It is one of their newer products, and it's amazing. It feels a lot like the silky feel you get from the new Milani, and you just rub the stick on the face, and it's just fantastic, but it has no silicone in it. So a lot of people love it for that reason. Now, another one is their new lip oils. These are beautiful. The shade I'm wearing while I'm applying my makeup is called Dress Code, but I've bought several of these. They do have a little bit of warmth to them, a little peppermint. They feel really nice on the lips, just like the Milani Fruit Fetish. So this is another option. This has a nice amount of color. I was really surprised by that. Some lip oils don't have much color to them. They're almost clear. You can see that this one packs a punch. My last product from Wet n Wild is their eyeshadow. I've tried so many Wet n Wild eyeshadows. If you can find a shade that works for you, they're amazing. Do you remember these, the little singles? When I first started on YouTube about 10.5 years ago, so many women were taking this shade, Brulee, and putting it all over the lid sort of as a primer before they would apply their color to their eyes. It is such a great shade that you could wear underneath the brow or on the lid. And they still sell these. They were about 99 cents. I don't know if they're still 99 cents. I'll have to look it up. So one here that I like too is Nutty. That's another shade that I think is beautiful. You could use it as a liner. But I often will buy a Wet n Wild palette and use some of the shades as eyeliner that are too strong for my eyes on the lid, and add a little bit of sparkle here and there, but they're great palettes. I had to add this fourth one in from Wet n Wild, their Mega Last Primer. I use this eyeshadow primer almost every day. It is a staple in my routine. It's the most affordable, best eyeshadow primer that I could recommend. I would give second place to the Milani. That is a little heavier, and for a mature woman, we usually like thinner products on our eyes. So I would give first place to the Mega Last. Physicians Formula, I think, is such an amazing brand. However, I just wish they would take some of the scent out of these butter products. There's so many I can't use. If I open them up, my sinuses get plugged up. I just feel almost like I can't breathe from the fragrance. But they have some amazing products in their line. One is this liquid liner. Now, for many women, as we get older, our hands might be a little shaky. We might pull away from using liquid liner. But what I'm here to say is this is amazing for making your lash line look thicker. So what I do is just take this pen, which has such a super fine point, much finer than most brands I've ever tried, and I just make sure that point is as close to the lash line as I can get it, and I just go back and forth like this, like I'm coloring in a coloring book. You don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to lay the line and go straight across. Forget all of that. Just even you could dab it. You could just do little points along the line. And it will make your lash line look so great and make your eyes look bigger. It almost looks like how false lashes have that edge on them. That's sort of what you're creating with the pen. So I will often do that and then go over it with a powder or eyeliner, a cream type stick. But this is such a great product. Now, definitely, I guess my favorite behind that are these lip gloss. They're called actually lip conditioners, but I've bought several. I did a little lip combo for you in the video. I used a Maybelline Superstay ink crayon, and this is the shade Lead the Way. And then I went right on top with the lip conditioner. And let's see what shade this is, Brazilian Berry. They have 3 different shades in this. I wish they would come out with more because these feel so comfortable on the lips. They're like a melted lipstick. They have shine to them. I just think they're amazing. My last favorite is the Butter Glow Liquid Highlighter. Now, I know I just said about the butter products bothering me, but it seems like the liquid are not as strong as the powder, like the blushes and the bronzers. So I'm going to put a little of this on because I didn't show it in the video. It just unscrews at the top and you really need so little. I'm actually going to pat it between 2 fingers and just go along the cheek. It's a little more than the e.l.f. stick as far as showing up on the skin, but it really is a nice product. I didn't even push up the tube. I just took what was on the end here and put it on. So it's really powerful. This lasts a long time and it's not so heavily scented. Let's dive into NYX. I do buy a lot from NYX Professional Makeup. This palette was such a great find. It's their Ultimate Warm Neutrals. Many days I like a one eyeshadow look, and there are many that I can get out of this palette. This whole row here, I could do a one eyeshadow look and have a very soft look. If I go to this row or this row, infinite number of eyeliners because I love taking a small brush like this one from BK Beauty. It's their little 208 brush. It's so cute. And this is perfect for making a nice line along the lashes with any of these shades. So buying something like this, spending maybe $20 for this palette, maybe it might be a little less than that. It was such a great investment because if you buy single shadows, you'll pay anywhere from $8 to $10 or more. If it's a MAC shadow, you pay about $25 for a single now. So this is like so many singles all wrapped up in one. 2 other great products from NYX that have just come out is this one, the Plump Right Back. This is a primer, but it does plump up the skin. It makes your skin feel hydrated. So those of you with dry skin, I think you'll love this. What I like about it, and I have combination skin, is it's more like a heavier essence. I would say that. And it's very liquidy, sinks into the skin, but hydrates it so well. I had originally read an article where they said it plumps up wrinkles. Now, I didn't find it to plump up my deeper lines that I have, but I definitely could see a difference in the fine lines, like around my eyes. So I'll continue to use this. I really think it's fantastic, and it made my makeup look really nice. Now, another fantastic product from them is their new Powder Louder. This is a powder in a pencil. So if you like doing your brows with powder but don't like having to mess so much with a brush and all of that, this comes out so softly. The shade I bought is taupe. I just went back yesterday and bought a blonde because some days I like my brows to be softer, especially if I'm not under lights and a camera and I'm just in my everyday life going to shop and doing things. I don't want my brows to look too strong. So I bought taupe and then blonde, but this works so beautifully. It's got a little spoolie on the end. It's super affordable. You get a ton of products, so I think it's a great purchase. Some of you have asked me recently about Flower Beauty. What's going on with Flower Beauty? And I have been looking. I can't find the answer to that, but I have repurchased products that I love from Flower through Ulta online and through Amazon because there's nothing up on their website anymore. It says they're going to be back soon, but that message has been up a very long time. Those of you that have watched my channel for a long time know that at one point I was wearing so much Flower Beauty makeup that I purchased. I just loved it so much. Well, one of my all-time favorite bronzers is the Heat Wave. And when I first saw it at the time, hourglass powders were so big and they were so expensive. And I thought, I wonder if this would be a dupe. So I tried this out and I did purchase some of the mini size of the hourglass so that it was more affordable so I could try. And I didn't really see a difference worth paying more money for. This is just beautiful. This is M1 Sunswept. They have another one, M2, and it's a little deeper, but this just looks so beautiful on the skin. I love how smooth and finely milled this powder is, and it just looks gorgeous. I'll put a little swatch here. I wanted to use the Covergirl because no one ever talks about that, so that's what I used today, but this is just beautiful. I've been through a few of these now that I've repurchased. Now, Flower lipstick, I recently did a post because most of you know that the shade Spiced Petal was a great alternative or dupe to Charlotte Tilbury's original Pillow Talk. The shade is just gorgeous. I bought another one because I'm afraid are they just not going to make it anymore. And so I put out a post, but look at how pretty that is. I love it. It's almost the exact shade of my lips. But what I like about this is it has shine to it. Charlotte's is very matte. And I feel like when I wear this, my lips just look a little better because of the slight shine over it. I just am happier with that look. But this is such a gorgeous lipstick, and at one time you had to fight to get it. I remember driving to store after store and looking everywhere online for it, and everywhere was sold out at one point. Now you can get it for a super price. I think I paid about $6 for this, and it's amazing. Drew came out with this line of lipsticks after these, and this is one of my favorite shades. It's called Blush Rose. And it's just beautiful. I'm going to wipe off the lipstick I have on right now, which I really like this combination. Of course, I'm using a Maybelline lifter liner. Those lifter liners, we'll talk about that soon, are just out of sight. But I'm going to wipe this off and put this shade on for you. I love this shade. It's so beautiful. All of these lipsticks, they have a very thin feel to them. A lot, I would say, like some of the Lancome lipsticks. Just unbelievable formula. Again, this is so affordable now. You won't find these at most CVS anymore. She used to have a huge display in all the CVS stores in my area, and none of them have that display anymore. So I buy all of them through either Ulta or Amazon. So the links for these and everything else I talk about today will be in the description of the video. It is really difficult for me to pick 3 Maybelline products. I use so much Maybelline. I realized that when I went into my drawers and started pulling things for this video. I'm like, I have a lot of Maybelline. And I still have the Flower Beauty lipstick on, but I'm going to put a little of the lifter liner. Now this shade that I'm using is called Big Lift. So let's try that out. Boy, that matched so well, I almost feel like I don't need to even blend it. What a beautiful shade. But these lifter liners have to be one of my top products ever from Maybelline. I mean, ever in my whole life. And I've been buying Maybelline since I was probably 13. So I just think it's amazing. These are better than so many high-end lip liners that I've purchased. They're creamy. I like to wear them as a lipstick with a lip oil on top. I like to just use them as a liner. I like to use them always with lipstick. I just think my lips look so much more defined and look more obvious with a lip liner than without. It also keeps everything I'm wearing from bleeding into my lip lines that I have around my lips. So this is just amazing. Now another one are these. I wore these so much when we were worried about our makeup staying on in the past few years. These are the Stay Put ink crayons, and they're just amazing. I have the shade here, Lead the Way, and then Change is Good. I've done some shorts on these too. These last hours on my lips. They're just amazing. I keep them in my little fanny pack that I carry around, and they just are favorites of mine because they're almost like a lipstick and a lip liner all in one. When I wear these, I don't bother with a lip liner. I just go close to the edge and sort of define my lips. But these are fantastic. And if you didn't know, they also have a sharpener in the end, so you can get a little bit of a better point. But incredible. So these two are two of my top picks. Now I struggled with a third pick, so I'm just going to give you a bonus one for Maybelline. I have been wearing the Lash Discovery. This, I said, was a replacement. It's got a little bigger brush than the It Tight line from It Cosmetics, but this is so affordable. I bent the brush on purpose so that I could get underneath close to the lashes. I just took the brush out and went like that, and then it bends it. But this is great for your lower lashes if you're like me and your lashes don't really show up and you just want a slight layer of color on them to make them show. It's great for that. But it's really good at getting way down in these lashes, like where you can't get sometimes with a regular wand. So I love it. It's amazing. But I do have to mention these City Mini palettes for those of you that love eyeshadow like I do. This one is Matte About Town, and it's all mattes. This is such a great value because you have 6 matte shades. Even the white is matte, even that. But I love this for one and done looks. Sometimes I just want a soft wash of color and I'll maybe mix a couple. I love this deeper shade for liner. So I've had many of these. At one time, my drawer was full of City Minis. These are great shadows. Let's talk about Revlon. If I had to pick one lipstick from the drugstore that's my favorite for like a cream lipstick, it would definitely be Revlon. I've loved Revlon for so long. Today, I was wearing the shade Bare It All. I had that on at the beginning and I did some lip liner with it, and it's just so beautiful, a gorgeous nude. I've shown so many Revlon lipsticks in my videos, I'm sure you're not surprised. I also love these. They're hard to find now, but I have bought them off Amazon. These are the glow lipsticks they had, and this one's Glossed Up Rose. And look at all the shine that you get off of that. Just amazing. These are beautiful. I wish they'd bring these back to the store. They went viral on TikTok when they weren't in stores anymore, so people were trying to get them off of Amazon left and right. but the packaging on these were beautiful. Let me know in the comments if you ever tried these. This is a blast from the past. Remember these from Revlon? I loved them. I had every single shade they made. That was the kind of love I had for this lipstick. These were the butter lipsticks. And similar to the Shine formula they came out with later, where they had a lot of pigment and a lot of shine. And that's the way I roll. I still love powder blush. I know many of you do too, even though they've come out with all these cream and liquid blushes. But I had for a while every shade of these pretty much. This is the Revlon blush in Apricot. This is such a beautiful blush. I just put it on top of the Milani today just so you could see how nice it looks on the skin. This blush has never disappointed me. There's a little kickback, but I see that in blushes that I've paid a lot more for. And the color lasts all day, and I just think they're great blushes. This is a classic. The last thing from Revlon is this jelly tool. I am crazy about it because it helps me so much with blending. I use this in my under eyes. I use it for lip liner. I use it to blend lipstick. I use this end, but the one I use the most really is the smaller end. This was $10, so worth it. I actually bought two. I'll always be thankful to L'Oreal because when I had such bad acne as a teenager, that was the brand that I used to cover up my acne, and it did the trick. I had so much acne on my forehead and sometimes even on my cheeks or my nose, and I just really had such a complex about it. And I wore some L'Oreal foundation, and it was just the best thing at the drugstore at that time for my skin. But I still love their True Match. That's my top pick from L'Oreal. I just think this is such a beautiful foundation. It's so thin. I'm in the shade N4, and it's really a good match for me, especially at this time of year when I have a little bit of color from just going for short walks in the sun. It's been so sunny here in Florida, so my skin tone's a little bit deeper even with wearing sunscreen, and this just works beautifully. I might go a tad bit lighter in the winter time, but this is an all-time favorite foundation of mine. I wear it often. I also think they did such a fabulous job with this bronzer. This is their infallible 24-hour wear bronzer, and it works great on my skin. I bought the shade, let's see what shade I'm in, 300 Light Medium. I love that they actually made light medium. And so many of these bronzers look too orange on my skin. And this is matte. It doesn't have any glow in it, and that's important to me. I wanted something that would be matte. So this has been just fantastic. Now, my other pick from L'Oreal, if I had to say something else they do well, which they do so many things great, is their eye pencils. They make some amazing eyeliners. And today I'm wearing this one, the Infallible Grip Liner. And I love this shade. It's taupe gray. What a gorgeous shade. You don't see that in every brand. They make so many beautiful liners that you don't see other companies making. I have bought so many over the years, and even now in my collection, I'll have like a blue, a green, this shade, the taupe gray. So I always look for those unique colors, and L'Oreal always never disappoints. And they do have a little sponge on this end. I like to take my BK Beauty brush to blend it out. But this is such a great eyeliner if you're looking for one that will look beautiful on your eyes and will last. I saved the most shocking thing for last. I have never been a huge fan of Revolution makeup. I've tried some things over the years. It's been very hit or miss for me. About a year ago, I think I tried their plumping lip gloss, and I loved it. And that sort of was like my way back into the brand because I was so impressed with it. When I first saw it, I thought, what have I got to lose? It's very affordable. I'll give it a try. And then I ended up loving it. I was still very hesitant trying this Skin Silk foundation because, of course, foundation to me is a very important product. It can be very dicey. It can look good for a little while and then break apart during the day and look terrible. So I didn't have high hopes for this because of the price point, but I loved the look of it and I thought it's worth a try. They got me with the bump. And let me tell you, it's my favorite of the year. I can't believe it. It even beats high-end things I've tried from Sephora this year. I really can't believe it. It just goes on, not too thin, not too thick. It sinks into the skin. It doesn't dry too fast. It dries fairly quickly, but it gives me a chance to work with it. Now, today I'm wearing a tanner shade. I bought this for summer. It's the shade F10. I actually have F7 that I originally bought that was too light for me. So what I'll probably end up doing over the next few months is just mixing the two so that I can use it. But I love how this looks on my skin. It's one of my favorite foundations. It doesn't matter what price point you're talking about that I have. Now also, their concealer. I could use a little deeper shade in this. This is C7 Soft Matte Concealer. At the time I purchased it, they just didn't have the shade there that would have been my best. So I went ahead and bought this, but it ended up being nice. I love the way this looks in my under eyes. It doesn't seem to crease. This is a great concealer. As good, I think better than some of the high-end. Don't think because you spend more money, you're always going to love a high-end concealer, because I have found that not to be true. Now, this is another product that I don't hear anyone talking about that I wanted to mention for those of you that like a brightener, like the Becca Smashbox. I bought that for my daughter so many times. She loves it. Well, this is the Eye Bright Corrector in the shade Light to Medium from Revolution. Now, it is creamier than the Catrice. I've talked about the Catrice Under Eye Brightener many times. This has got a little more creaminess to it. I think it's even more like the Becca Smashbox. And it's a little heavier, so you only need a very small amount if you're going to use this. And it's got that sheen to it. So I actually like using this on the bridge of my nose, even up on the cheekbone to add a little highlight. You could even take it, let's try this, and put a little under the brow, like that. See how that just brightened that up? I mean, you need so little. This could last me 25 years if it didn't expire, because you just use a tiny amount. But it just gives such a beautiful, brighter look if you're looking for that brightness. So that's my number 3 from Revolution. One last thing I have to mention for Maybelline. We'll tie this in with mascaras. I think Maybelline does mascaras amazingly. And this is the Lash Sensational Sky High in True Brown. Many of you convinced me to try brown mascara because you wear it. You said in the comments, oh, I don't wear black anymore, Laura. I wear brown. So I went looking for brown, but that was not an easy task because so many brands have brown black, which I know that's a shade my mom wore a lot. She liked brown black and brown when they used to make it. Years ago, that was a very popular shade. Well, it's making a comeback, and thankfully Maybelline is the one that did it, and I love it. I think it's such a softer look for me. I like it for, especially during the day, if I'm just going out, maybe to lunch with a friend, and I just don't want these stronger lashes. And the wand on this is so great, I think. I didn't used to like these plastic wands, but this one is super flexible. See how flexible that is? And I just really like it because I can get way down close to the base of the lashes. So I've got to have this in my collection, and I wanted you to know about it. No gatekeeping here. Whew, that was a lot of stuff. Can you believe that? This is whole drawer here is full of what I just spoke about. That's incredible, isn't it? But there's so many great products out there. I hope me trying them can help you whittle down to what you would really use and enjoy. That's the purpose of me trying it, is that so you don't waste your money on things that just aren't going to work for you, and that you can find stuff that's amazing that maybe you'll want to wear for a long time because it's so great. So hopefully I saved you some money and some time and effort and frustration. But I really had so much fun doing this video for you. Thank you for asking for it. I love hearing from you. I hope you'll leave me comments today. I love your comments, and I try to get back to as many of you as I can. I love hearing what your favorites are and your routines. You know, YouTube, people think like you're out interacting with a lot of people, but I'm in here all by myself filming, so it can sort of feel a little bit lonely here. So my only real interaction I get is from all of you. So I appreciate you all so much. I hope you have a blessed week, and let me know some of your favorites from this year or from the video. I'd love to hear back. Again, everything's linked in the description of the video. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you soon.